So, everyone did the math test really well, and the science paper too. You guys have done it really well. So very good. Well done, all of you all. You all did superb in the science and math test. Great work. So today we will take the last class of the 11th chapter. Okay, we'll finish it today. The last topic that was pending, we will finish it today. Okay.
Sorry, ma'am, I'm late.
Hi, Abraham. It's okay. Please turn on your videos. Right. So, who's gonna tell me what we were doing in the last class?
Ma'am, here's how to draw a parallel line using set square and compass.
Very good. How to draw a parallel line using set square and compass. Today we will see how to draw perpendicular lines using protractor and set square. Okay, using protractor and set square. Just a minute. I'll share the book with you. So that you can see how it's being made. Okay? Now, in the last class, we talked about perpendicular lines, right? That they make an angle of 90-degree. Perpendicular lines, right? In that angles of 90-degree are made, this we talked about. And now, first we will, like two methods are there to draw the perpendicular line. First is using the protractor and then using set square. So let's see how we can draw two parallel perpendicular lines using a protractor. Now, first step is draw a line L. Draw
L.
any measure.
L in measure.
Any measure, yes. All of you all please start doing it. Draw a line L of any measure.
Um, 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 um.
Draw
Then
a line. Okay, L of any measure. Now, in the center of it, mark on the center of that line L, mark a point P.
P.
Mark, yes, P. P point.
Closer to the center.
No, center you take.
Anywhere near the center.
Yes, close to the center, but it should be like close to the center only. Okay.
And
Sure. Yes, this is okay. Done till here. Hope you all are following. Anaya, Sumi, and Abraham.
done.
Done. Okay. Sumi and Abraham.
I'm still.
Still doing? Okay, you can do.
Your screen is dark.
My screen is dark. Little better now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Now it is
so,
normal.
okay. Now we did till we drew a line L of any measure. Then we marked a point P on it at somewhere at the center. Now what you guys need to do is place the protractor on the line L in such a way that the center of the protractor is on point P. Okay, take the protractor,
Okay, so the
place it.
center of the protractor has to touch the P point.
Yes,
Good.
place the protractor on line L in such a way that the center point of the protractor is on the P point.
Amen.
Okay, then now
Yeah.
hold the protractor with your like two fingers. Hold the protractor, and
Yeah.
where it is marking 90 degrees, okay, there you put a point. Where you have to put a point. One
Ma'am?
minute.
Ma'am, on the 90 degrees, ma'am.
Yes. Suppose here is protractor marking 90, so you put a point here where the protractor is marking 90. Okay, and name it point B.
B.
Yes, name it B point. Abraham, hope you were able to do it. Your voice is very slow. Cannot hear you.
Now you can hear me.
Very softly. Little bit, yes.
No, can you hear me?
Okay, done till here. Point B. Have you marked point B?
Yes, ma'am. B.
Okay. Now join the point B with point P.
Both B
Join.
and P are joined.
Yes. Join B with P.
Now can you hear me now?
Yes, Abraham. I can hear you. Yeah. So now, BP is the perpendicular line. BP is the perpendicular line on L. Okay. This is how we draw with the protractor. What's the symbol of perpendicular line? This. Okay. This is used to denote the perpendicular lines, all right? So BP is the perpendicular line on L. This is how we draw using a protractor.
Ma'am? Ma'am, all the
Okay.
angles are 90 degrees, ma'am.
Yes, yes. All the angles are 90 degrees. So this angle will be 90 degree and this angle also 90 degree. Okay. Any questions, any doubts, anyone?
No.
Okay. Everyone has made it till here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Abraham made it? Okay. So let's proceed and see how do we make perpendicular lines using a set square. Okay, this is method 2 using a set square. First, draw a line of any measure. Okay, draw a line of any measure. Name it L. Name it L.
Ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, so now draw a line and name it L.
Yes.
Mm,
Okay. Now, place a set square on the line L in such a way. Okay. Now mark point P on it on the line L. Sorry. 1 second. Angle is on point P and edge, one edge on L. You can name it anything, point A or point P. Okay. So mark a point, let's say point A, mark a point A on the line L, on line L, little to the left from the center. Okay. Center also you can take. It's up to you. A on line L. Abraham, you have to remove the blur because I cannot see. This was the first figure, right? This one,
No, no, second. I don't know.
second one, second one. Okay, but I haven't like I'm just only on the part where you have marked point A. You have made it already.
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So,
It's correct, Abraham.
Set square point
so ma'am,
A.
where to make the A point, ma'am? Where to make the A point?
1 second. 1 second, Edric. You placed the set square and made it. Okay, Abraham, it is correct. Okay, it is
Ma'am.
correct. Where to mark the A point? You can mark it at the center, or you can mark it a little near the center, anywhere on the line. Okay.
Okay, so I mark the A point, ma'am.
Yes. Now, you have the set square. Take it and place it like this on the A point. Place it like this on the A point. Okay. Like the corner edge of the set square should be on the A
Because
point.
that one is a right angle, right?
Yes,
Only the one that
because
is right angle.
yes, that is right. Only the one which is right angle, you place it here on the A point, like this, okay? Done till here? Now,
Yes, ma'am.
now where the set square is ending, put a point on that too. Where the set square is ending here, the top corner, edge, okay? And name it B point. Point B. Name it like this. Okay. Now, last step, join A and B. Join A and B points. Okay. So it will be that AB will be perpendicular on the line and AB will be perpendicular on the line L. Okay.
I'm done.
Done. All right.
Done, ma'am.
Done. Okay. Anaya and Abraham done. Abraham done. Anaya, have you done it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Good. So, one question I'm giving you right now. One question I'm giving you. You can try that out.
Ma'am, got it, ma'am. Exactly 90.
Very good. Using protractor or set square, draw a line. Draw a line XY, which will be which will be perpendicular on line L of line L of 8 centimeter. Okay. So, in this question, any method you can use. You can use the protractor method or the set square method. Line L will be 8 centimeter, and on that you have
Why?
to draw line XY.
So
Yes,
both methods you
Simeon.
can use.
Yes, Simeon. Any method you can use.
Now, basically, you have to draw a line from L, a perpendicular line from L.
Yes, and that a measure of line L is also given. What measure you have to use? That is also good.
But set square is more accurate, right?
Both are accurate. Both of them are accurate if you place them correctly on the line point. Okay,
I
both
meant
are
like set square is easier to make accurate.
And
easier
then,
to make.
set square also has the money revenue. But the
Mhm.
rapid doesn't say if your pencil just goes a little to that side, you get a different angle.
Yes, that is right. Any you can use. Okay, if that's clarifying more easy, you can use that. If you are done, please let me know. Okay, once you are done, just let me know.
Ma'am, which method should we use? Protractor or set square?
Any method.
Done, ma'am. I use
Okay. You used a what?
protractor method.
Protractor. Oh, okay. All right. Good. Sunny done. You have to remove the background. Okay, then I'll be able to see. Okay, now remove the blur. Okay. All right, Sunny. Good. It's written.
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Okay, sure.
Ma'am, 1 minute also, okay?
Okay. Okay, you said that. Okay, Samir. This was a lengthy chapter, and we have finished this. Like with this exercise, it was the last part of this chapter, and we have finished with the 11th chapter today. So, go through it. Okay. Please complete all the exercises. I think it has exercises till 11.7. So please complete the ones which you haven't completed yet. Okay. Please do that.
Done, ma'am.
Tomorrow on, done. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's correct. What method you use?
Ma'am, I
Subtractor
use
or
set square. Ma'am, I use set square.
okay. All right. Yes, Abraham. Yours is done.
Ma'am, because I thought protractor will be cheating, that's why.
That's correct. No, it's not cheating. It's like it's also a method. So whichever you use, it's okay. If it mentions specifically that you have to use protractor only or set square only, that time you have to use a particular thing. Otherwise, it's okay. Yes, Abraham is correct. Okay, good. Got it. Yes.
I
Now,
noticed
that's
protractor and set square.
Yes,
you used both. Okay. Yeah, I saw two diagrams. Good. Very good. Okay, so we stop here. Okay, that's all for the math class today. Tell me if I keep the test of this chapter 11 on Friday, will it be enough time for you all to prepare or next week only?
ma'am, next week is
Ma'am, I
quite
think
a big
next week is
chapter.
better.
Next week is
It's
better.
quite a big chapter next week.
Yeah,
Ma'am,
next
I
week.
have a question, ma'am, about the test.
Yes, Abraham.
Because
Yes,
all the
please, next
classes
week.
are shifted so early in the morning, not very early,
Mm-hmm.
but it will be difficult for us to do tests at this time in the morning.
It will be difficult for you all to do the test at this time in the morning. Then you then we'll keep an afternoon time for you all to do the test, okay? Like classes
Okay.
will be in the morning, but at noon I'll be sharing the papers. The tests you guys can do in the afternoon, three at 3 p.m. time.
Okay, ma'am. And ma'am,
Okay.
English will be at 4 o'clock.
English test is there in the evening. English class is there in the evening from 4:50 to 5:30. Okay, 4:50 to 5:30 p.m.
Okay.
in India. Yes, because 4:30 I'm coming back from college. I reach home 4:30. So 20 after that, after the 20 minutes, that's 4:50 to 5:30, I will take the English class. Okay. All right. So okay, Adrit. See you tomorrow.
Bye, ma'am.
Bye. Right. So what I was saying. Mm, yes, tests we can keep in the afternoon. That's not an issue. Okay, but classes will be in the morning only. And how was the science test, guys? You went through your papers?
Yeah, it was
Which
good.
test?
Science test, chapter 10.
Yeah, I went through it.
Ma'am, I was unable to go through my paper.
I
You
went through
was,
math also.
okay. Yes,
But
Abraham.
why did you mark it?
Ma'am,
Why? 1 second.
I was unable to go through my paper, ma'am.
Um, you were not able to. I can hear you properly, Abraham.
Ma'am.
Can you type it in the chat box? The voice is muffled. Let's type it. Yes, Simran, what were you saying? Why did I?
Why did you mark me wrong for the question where you had to draw rays and all? I didn't understand what I did wrong there.
You didn't understand what you did wrong, where you marked the
Yeah, you
rays
put a
and all.
question mark.
Okay. Um, I will show that to you. Okay. I'll be taking a little doubt session because not many doubts are there. Little bit doubts are there, which that session I'll be taking with you. Okay. So I'll let you know because it's diagrams again. 1 second, I'll show you. Will be like this. Like this will be the point P. Okay. And like this, you make the line segments. Okay. Like this, I think L and M were there. L and M.
I drew it all on one because it was all with P.
Yes, you do it all in one. And then the rays also can be made like this. So all in one, this is also all in one. If you go to from this P to this L, this is a ray. And the E from this small m, it's a ray. But if you go from P to L, this is a line segment and this is also a line segment. Okay?
Okay.
Yes. All right. So rest was all correct. And you all did the papers well. Science and math sports. Now, what were we doing in the last class? We did motion and we had to start with stages of motion, I think, right? Stages of motion. From here we will begin. Now, the stage of motion is decided in every object. How? By its speed and direction of movement. Okay. How is it decided? By its speed and like at what speed the object is moving and in what direction the object is moving. Static movement is called zero motion stage. Why? Because in static movement, no movement is taking place. So it is known as zero motion stage, okay? Because movement is not happening only. So it will be zero motion. Then motion happens only when movement is happening. So when movement is not there, something is static means it's not moving. So zero motion. Then every object can be static or in motion. Both the stages, both are the stages of motion. Okay. Now an object can be either static or motion. This means that force will change the state of motion of objects. This is a general experience that some things do not move even by exerting pressure. Okay, for example, a heavy box does not move by exerting maximum pressure. Some things do not move, big heavy things, for example, do not move when we try to exert even a maximum pressure, then also the thing is not moving. So it is its static stage. Okay, that thing's static stage. In the same way, force has no effect on the weight. Force can change the shape of objects. Okay, force can also change the shape of objects sometimes. If you can see the a balloon we are having, you take it in between a palm and press it. Okay, and press it that that round big shape will become a disc like okay something. So it is a change in shape. Also, when a car accident happens, when a car accident happens, a lot of force is applied in the car. Another car when it collides with it happens with a force, and due to that force, the car's body is like bumped totally. Okay, and the shape also changes. You have seen a car that's been in an accident. Okay,
No.
its shape changes. Yes, Abraham.
Um, by the car's bump, meaning it's like like broken and all.
It is broken. Yes. Okay, and the metal of the car. Okay, it shrinks like this. It shrinks. Okay, so that is also that happened. Why? Car has a strong metal, a strong body. Okay, but why that it will shrink somewhere where the like where it had bumped. Why? Because a very strong force is applied to that part of the car. Okay. So now these activities makes us understand that force can make objects static. Okay, force can make objects static also, can change the speed of moving objects. Force can change the speed of moving object and can change the direction of moving object and the shape of moving objects. Okay, this is all what force can do. Okay, it can change the speed of moving object, change the direction of moving object, change the shape of the moving object. Okay, so now force can do some or all effects on an object. When force is applied to something, either it will be one or it can be all of these effects on the object. Okay? These are the effects of force on objects. Effects of force on objects. Although force does not show one or more effects, yet none can be shown without exerting a force. Okay. Now, force shows these effects only when force is applied. Okay. Only when force is applied. If force is not applied only, then these effects will not be there. These effects will not be there. Okay. So these effects are there only when force is applied to something. This means that no objects can move in it or change its direction or shape without force. Okay. So without force, objects cannot move. Can a box is lying there? Okay. Can it move on its own? No, right? If we go and push it to the direction we want to, then it will move. So we push it, so it is moving. What direction we will push, that direction it will go. If we push it straight, it will move straight. If we take it straight and then to the left, if we push the box, this is my box, to the straight and then to the left. Okay, then only that is the direction of the force. Okay, in that direction only it will move. Okay, if um we throw this box out, then it will collapse. Okay, throw this box out with pressure, it will break. So that is what? That is a change in shape. Okay, it will break like this. Change in shape. Why is it all happening? Because of force. Okay, because we applied force. Because of the force of with the force it hit the ground, it will break like that. Okay, this part is clear, everyone. The force on an object, its effects. Any questions? Or if you want to give an example of the same, you can give.
Ma'am,
Yes, Abraham.
I was going to correct the question, ma'am.
You had a question. You can ask.
I'm an experience.
I cannot hear you really.
Ma'am, I have an experience.
Experience. Yes, you can share that experience.
So, ma'am, when I have gone to my trip to Kochi, ma'am, I
Mhm.
have, so we were coming back on the last day, and so our friends, we had this Toyota Fortuner, I would say we are really fortunate and we are coming back. So then, since it was very foggy because of the flight being early morning, the one car came ahead of us. We had put on a fog light, but we didn't see any crashed into it. To our car, only the bumper light flared off. But to the Toyota, to that other car, it had got fully compressed like this.
Yes. Mm-hmm. That happened because of force. The other car got fully compressed like this. Okay, due to with the force that the crash happened, it was because of with the force, so much force the crash happened. Okay, that is why the other car was compressed. It happens. Yes. All right. So this was the stages of motion. What are the stages? Two stages are there: static stage or motion stage. Okay, when the stage where something is lying there and when something is moving. What are the effects of force on objects? Change in direction of moving object, change in speed of moving object, change in shape of moving object. Okay, all of these are effects. Then this is for you all to try out. 15.3. You have to try this out. Okay. Next, friction. Um, what's friction? Can anyone of you tell me a little bit of idea you have about it in your own words? If you want to share, what do you understand by friction?
Now, friction is the force that is applied to, like, if I have a car with me on this side, friction is push it to move this side. Friction is the force try to slow it down.
That slows it down. Okay, very good.
And
Anyone
then
else?
friction can also be used in good ways because without friction, we will not be able to walk. Or neither would the car be able to move because it needs friction to push it off from the ground.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good. Yes. Um, anyone else wants to share? Okay, so now to stop a motion from going in opposite direction, there must be a force which is exerted, which has to be exerted. This is known as a friction force. Okay. Now, when we are cycling, how do we stop it? Okay, or other vehicles when we are driving, how do we stop it? We press the brakes. Okay, we press the brakes. Now, what is happening when we are pressing the brakes? It is stopping the moving vehicle, the moving cycle. Okay, now it slows down when no other external force is exerted. Like to slow down a cycle when we press the brake, okay, there is not an external force that's being exerted, but it is the brakes that we press. Okay, so friction is also working here in this too. Okay, now, one second. Yes. So a force must be exerted in the opposite direction of a movement to stop the motion. Okay, this is basically friction force. Okay, force that is applied in the opposite direction to stop the motion of something. Okay, that is basically a friction force. Can anyone give me an example? Yes, Simran, you want to give an example of a friction force?
Um,
Anything?
I'm not exactly sure.
Write down.
Um, Gravity, maybe?
Gravity. Okay. Um, okay. So,
Ma'am,
basically, yes,
ma'am, can I
Abraham.
say? Ma'am, air
Yes.
resistance and water resistance.
What resistance?
And air resistance.
Air resistance. Air resistance. Okay. Yeah.
When flying to the air, these are like frictional forces.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So, basically, suppose something is moving. Something is moving in a particular direction. Okay. Anything, be it anything, any object. Okay. Or anything else that's moving, and a force that's exerted from the opposite direction. A force that's exerted from the opposite direction to stop that movement of the moving thing, to stop that movement, or to slow down that movement. So that force which is applied from the opposite direction to stop that movement, to slow it down, is basically the friction force. Okay, that is known as the friction force. You must have seen that if you exert force on the left side, the friction works in the right direction. If the force is exerted on the right side, then the book moves in left direction due to friction. Friction force is always against the above activity. Does it depend on sticking of its surfaces? Suppose um my suppose me and my friends were playing ball. We were playing ball. Okay. And the ball is moving in this direction. Okay. The ball is moving in this direction, rolling in this direction. Okay. So it rolled in this direction. Okay. And what happened? Suppose my mother came, and it was rolling, and we were here. We were standing here. It was rolling in that direction, and my mama came and stopped it. Okay, came and stopped it. So what happened? Friction force worked. Okay. Now, the ball was coming from the right side. She stopped it from the left side. She applied the friction force from the left side, right? From the left side, left direction, while the ball was coming from the right direction. Okay, but where it worked? She applied the friction force from the left side. It worked on the right side, on the right direction from where the ball was. Right. So this tells us what? That when we are applying friction force, it always works in the opposite direction. Okay, yes, Abraham, that is right. Good one. Okay, yes. So that way, friction force will always work on the body or on the object that is on the opposite direction. Okay, it will be applied to that. Now, factors affecting friction. Friction is caused because of the irregularities of two surfaces. These surfaces are very symmetric. They may have micro irregularities on the surface. Due to the irregularities of two surfaces, they dig into each other. When we try to give motion to an object on a different surface, then an interrelation of surfaces takes place. To cross this interrelation of surfaces, force is applied. If the surface is irregular, then there is more friction force. We have learned that the interrelation of irregularities of two surfaces cause friction. Can anyone explain me what does this sentence means? Any one of you? Give a read and
Ma'am,
explain.
can I answer?
Yes, Abraham. Yes, Abraham.
Ma'am, if I have, like, if the interrelation means, like they have come together, and in reality, it means they are uneven. So if I have a mat with uneven surfaces like this, and I have another one with uneven surfaces like this, those two will cause friction. Or if I have a carpet and I have my foot, which is uneven, and I rub my foot against it, it will cause friction. Or if I have like a car tire and a road, because the road is uneven, and the car tire, which has an uneven surfaces in atom, or and they both come together, it will create a lot of friction. So basically, it's trying to say when there are uh, when there when there are irregular surfaces, like they are very like the shape is not regular and it doesn't come in a pattern, you can say that it will cause the most friction.
Okay, very good. Um, Abraham, that is perfect. That is perfectly right. Okay, so irregular surfaces cause friction in the opposite direction to where force is applied. To where force is applied. Okay, friction force is like affected by the smoothness of the surfaces. Okay, it's affected by the smoothness of the surfaces. If two irregular surface is there, okay, then there will be more friction. Okay, friction, there will be more friction force will be there. All right. Then suppose, for example, for example, I have one surface and another surface. Can you see both of them are irregular?
Yes.
Yes. So both of them are irregular surfaces. So the friction force in this case, okay, will be high. Okay, the friction force will be high. Where two irregular surfaces are there in comparison to where two smooth surfaces are there. Okay. Now, friction will be more on a rough surface as compared to a smooth surface. Okay. Let's move forward. If two surfaces are pressed forcefully, then the friction increases. You can experience it by pulling a mat. When nobody is sitting on the mat and then somebody is sitting on the mat. Okay. If nobody is sitting on the mat, we can easily pull it. But if someone is sitting on the mat, it will be harder for us to pull the mat. Okay. Yes. Now, friction harmful but compulsory. which is easy to hold the glass or a pot. Now, think that the outer surface of glass is slippery or there is a coat of oil present on its surface. Do you think it will be easy to hold the glass if the outer surface of the glass is slippery? Do you think we can hold it well? No, right? Think about walking on the wet floor or marble or muddy way. It will be difficult to walk on it. Can you imagine walking without friction? If you are walking on a wet floor, it will be hard for us to walk on it. Like, it will be impossible to write with a pen or pencil without friction. Okay, this is friction in daily life. Okay, application of friction in everyday life. All right, how it is important for us in everyday life. When your teacher writes on blackboard with a chalk, then the regular surface of a blackboard reduces chalk powder, and the rest of the chalk is on the blackboard with the help of alphabets. Therefore, you can see the writing on blackboard. Then, if there is no friction between road and tires of wheel, there would be no motion in the vehicles. Okay, friction causes motion the car to move in the vehicle. They cannot be stopped, no direction be changed. Okay, so friction force is applied to stop the car, like I explained before when we just started the topic. And it is also, friction force also applied to change the direction of the moving car. Okay. Then, if an object starts in motion, it cannot be stopped if there is no friction. If there's no friction, it cannot be stopped. If something starts moving, okay, or suppose someone throws a ball at you at full speed, okay, but before it hits you, you catch it. Before it hits you, the ball hits your head, you catch it. Okay, so what happened? Friction, okay, you catched it. So opposite force you applied, right? An opposite force you apply to stop that moving ball, to stop that moving ball towards you. That is basically happened because of friction. Okay. But if friction was not there, the ball would have hit. Who will stop the ball then? If there is no opposite force applied, then how will the ball be stopped? Okay, so it happens because of friction. Then you can't even fix a nail or tie a knot in thread without friction. Yes, Abraham.
The ball was coming at full speed and there wasn't any friction, then moving, and the person tries to stop the ball, would he also go with the ball?
Would he also go with the ball?
Yes, would the ball also push him back? I mean, he'll be
The ball will
forever
push
in
him back.
motion.
The ball will push him back. Yes. If the ball is not stopped and it hits him hard, he will be pushed back by the ball because ball is coming with force. Okay. Ball has a force of its own. It is coming with a force. To stop that ball coming with a force, another force is needed to be applied from the opposite direction. Another force is needed to be applied from the opposite direction. Then only it will stop the force which is with which the ball is coming. Okay. Then you can building cannot be built without friction. Okay. This is the friction between the building, the surface of the land and the surface of the building. Okay. Then, however, friction is also harmful sometimes. Due to friction, objects depreciate, like nails fall, tearing on the bearing or the shoe sole. Okay. These um, depreciate due to friction. When we walk too much, the soles of the shoe gets depreciated, right? The sole is starts get to wear off, right? Of the shoe that we wear. If we are walking it, wearing it every day and walking long distance on foot, walking in it, the sole will start to wear off, right? Because it is like the When we walk, the friction is between our feet and the land and the surface of the land. Okay. So when we are walking, now that the friction that's happening in our between our foot and the surface of the land, the sole of the shoe is coming in contact with that. And by continuously when it happens, it will starts to get depreciate, right? Zero. So, and then you must have seen bridges and stairs. Friction also creates heat. When you light a matchstick with a box, when you light a matchstick with a matchbox, then it catches fire. Friction also creates heat. How? How? Like, how is that happening? So, the surface, the tip of the matchstick and the surface of the side surface of the matchbox are coming in contact with each other, right? They're coming in contact. And how do we light a matchstick? How do we light a match? The tip of the match is coming in contact with the side of the matchbox, and then we um like do it like this, okay, to light the match. So heat is produced in that. Yes,
The,
Simeon.
the picture looks like a real hand with a real matchstick, but a fake matchbox, like a drawing of it.
Yes. Real hand, real matchstick, but a fake matchbox. Looks like it. Yes. So the friction is happening. The two surfaces are coming in contact. What two surfaces? The like the head of the matchstick and the matchbox surface are coming in contact with each other, causing a friction, which is then resulting in heat. Okay. Then you must have seen that after running a few minutes, the jar of electrical mixer also heats up. Also heats up. You can see many examples where friction creates heat energy. So yes, friction also creates heat energy. Okay, when we use the machine, energy created by friction destroys extra energy. Now, increasing and decreasing friction, increasing and decreasing friction. So, have you ever thought why the sole of our shoes is irregular in design? Now, what happens that suppose they are like this. They have irregular designs, some zigzags or some like they have some droppings, okay, in the sole. Why? Because when we are walking, we have a safe we'll be safe while walking. Can you do you know when we go out to buy slipper or shoes, we say that give us slip-proof slippers, slippers that don't slip. Give us shoes that don't slip. So those slippers or shoes that they give us have a sole like this. Okay. Now what happens? Suppose these shoes they are walking on you are walking on a flat surface, a flat and smooth surface, marble or tiles you are walking. If you are wearing a slipper which has a normal sole, okay, a slipper which has a normal sole, okay, it will come in contact, the smooth surface of the sole, slipper sole will come in contact with the smooth surface of the floor and you will slip like this. Okay, you will slip like this. But what if you are wearing these kind of shoes, okay, with irregular surface on a smooth, while walking on smooth tiles or smooth marble, you will not slip, okay, because an irregular surface is like, um, forgetting the word, yes, coming in contact when an irregular surface is coming in contact with a regular surface, regular or smooth surface, that time you won't slip, okay? That time you won't slip. All right.
If they put greasy material on their hands, won't it make them slip even more?
greasy material on their hands.
Yeah, it's saying gymnasts also place any greasy material on their hands. This increases friction and their hold.
Greasy material on their hands. Um, they do, yes. But if you take an example of the carom board, and if you have put powder on the carom board while
Yeah, I
playing
play.
it, yes, we put powder on the carom board so that when we are striking the striker, okay, it slides smoothly on the board. It slides smoothly. For that we put. Okay, so gymnasts also put greasy materials so that they can slide like through the gymnastic things, holes and all smoothly. Okay. Now, kabaddi players rub mud on their hands so they can hold their opponent. Then this increases friction in their hold. Why delicate powder is spread on carom board so that the friction between striker and carom board will be lessened. You must have noted that we drop a few drops in our door gate so that it starts moving freely. Oiling of the doors, have you heard? Oiling of the door joints. We do oiling
Yeah,
of the door.
especially
Yeah.
when it squeaks a lot.
Yes, especially when it squeaks a lot, when it is harder to move it smoothly. Oiling is done. Why? To so that it can move freely. Okay. Cycle and motor mechanics use grease in the moving parts of these machines. All these situations increase the skill of the machine and reduce friction. Okay, the machines start working better, friction is reduced. When grease and graphite is used between the moving parts of any machine, then a thin layer is formed and moving parts do not get stuck with each other. Okay, this is also grease is applied so that the moving parts do not get stuck with each other. Item is used to reduce friction is known as oil, but it is not used in some machines as lubricant. Such machines use seat between moving parts to reduce friction. Friction cannot end completely. We can
They use
reduce it.
what between moving parts?
Seat between moving parts.
What is seat?
I think it's some part that is used between the machine. Okay, and yes, friction cannot end completely. Okay, but we can reduce. It can be reduced, but it cannot end. A surface cannot be completely slippery. There are some irregularities, but there are some irregularities
But
in
if
it.
you are moving in um, water, then the friction is completely ended, right?
Completely ended, not completely, but reduced a lot.
But why? The surface of water is always smooth.
But the surface below the water might not always be smooth where we are walking, right?
I thought it fills the area where it's not smooth, so it makes it completely smooth.
Not always. Okay, not always that happens. Sometimes water is there, but if you see the surface below that, okay, if you go in and see the surface below that, it might be very irregular. Stones and pebbles of different kinds might be there in the bottom level, no? So it might be an irregular surface. But sometimes it is very smooth also. Why? Because tiles are there, like the pools and all, and sometimes mud layer is there. Thick soft, slimy mud layer is there beneath the water. So that is smooth, okay, but sometimes stones, pebbles are there, that is rough. So it depends what surface is it, okay, below the water. If it is a regular surface or irregular surface. So it will tell that if the friction will be less or more. Okay. Today's homework is notice around, okay, notice around you, and tomorrow give me all of your a live example of fiction. Okay. Something that you noticed, something you did where you saw
Live
fiction,
example of friction or live example of things that stop friction.
things that stop fiction. Any one or both you can give. Okay. Any one or both you can give. All right. Friction can you can give how friction is happening. You can give of friction force, like how friction is being stopped or how it's reduced. And okay, think about it. You can tell it in the class, and or you can show it also. That's up to you. Okay, so we stop here. Tomorrow we'll start with liquid fiction. Okay, we'll stop here. Any doubts, questions? Anyone?
Ma'am, I have a question on the science test.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Where were my 2 marks deducted? Those 2 marks.
Where those 2 marks were deducted? Just a minute. Okay. I think I forgot to give marks in one question. I think the eighth question I have not given marks in that. So maybe because of that.
You gave
I'll
ma'am the
update.
4 marks, I think.
Um four marks I gave in the ninth question. Eighth question. Okay, I gave 4 marks. Yes. Here I gave.
Ma'am, I left one question. I think it was in the 6th question. It was a 3-part question.
You left one question. Yeah, yes. You left the question nine's third part you left.
Yeah, question and 3rd part. Oh, it was very difficult. I didn't even
Yes.
understand. Could you please explain it?
It's about the handle of what was the question again? I think why is the handle of the vessel made of like a question like that, right? So basically, it's to insulate against heat. Okay, like Simeon wrote, to insulate against heat. Okay, so that the your hand doesn't burn when you touch the handle of the vessel. Okay, so that it can insulate against the heat. That was the reason basically. Okay, and so that yes, where you left that
Okay,
point, I
so
deducted them.
that you actually 2 marks for that question.
2 marks, yes,
Okay.
2 marks for that. Okay, okay.